Hello YouTube and welcome back to part 9 I believe of our final countdown battle royale. Now guys, in preparation for doing, because I'll tell you exactly what's happened, is that the song I did prior to Wage Slave was a song called Afterburner by Havoc, which is so far as I'm concerned like the biggest sort of like comparison I can make to Lich King at this point in time. And just to make sure, I had to get prepared for this. I've had to don every single precaution you can imagine. The health and safety vest to make sure, this song doesn't hurt me. I've actually had to install a second pair of shades. So, you've got to have eyes on the back of your head in this business. But I've got eyes on my forehead. I'm facing forward. Because look at this, guys. Tell me if you've never seen anyone on YouTube do this ever before. No, you haven't. But guess why? One, because I am nothing if not hip. You feel me? Also, you may laugh, but this is going to keep me safe. This is going to keep me smiling. And I can't wait to get started. Unfortunately, what this protection does not offer is an AC system. I am absolutely roasting in this. But don't worry. As long as we stay healthy and smiling, I'll be able to just... I'll make sure to get this gear off later on anyway. So, with all that being said and done, if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, the links will all be in the description down below. Let's begin. Wage Slave. In 3, 2, 1, and... my god, my face. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for Wage Slave by the Lich King, and now I think it's safe to, as they say, da 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 da. I can't do the tune to save my life. How does it go again? Dun 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 dun. Forget it. Well, making strippergram jokes. I never thought I'd have to sink as low as that. I mean, I friggin' wore 2 visors during that video. I think that speaks volumes to the level of insanity that I'm slipping further. I'm slipping further down the cracks, as it were. But oh my god, like, wasn't it? I'm gonna literally look back on that and say it was worth it, because you see, this is the biggest difference I've always said about Havoc and Lich King. Havoc seemed to literally about pushing the limits of what it means to literally lose all of your senses and go completely apeshit crazy. Lich King, it's kind of like the difference between the academic and the sport and the sports person. The sports person, in this case Havoc, has to apply a certain level of methodical thinking and work out the tactics of how to best his opponent. In the sense of utilizing his or her muscles, and there's a whole range of thinking. There's a lot more going on than meets the eye. The academic, however, in the case of Lich King, they are using their works to carefully dissect piece by piece by piece exactly that. It's like they're adopting a cause and effect in their songs, and if you go back to what I said about combat mosh, you will see exactly what I mean by that. Wage Slave, on the other hand, I would argue almost that this is supposed to be some kind of like revolt movement. In the same vein, you might expect groups like the Dead Kennedys to just sort of do. Just pick on a very vulnerable scapegoat target and literally exploit the hell out of it. I mean, let's go through the first 4 lines, shall we, and see if my point stands to reason. Working class scum of the world consume and commute and imbibe and repeat, living upon borrowed money and land that is owned by the hidden elite. Can't say that they're wrong. Well, apart from the fact they call in the working class scum, that's not really that true, to be honest. And commute, imbibe and repeat, living upon borrowed money, because, well, that is a little bit true, because where do the banks, where do the owners of businesses get their money from? And where do banks get their money from? And land, money literally is just, if it's not really created and nobody technically owns money, is that it's passed down, paid, owed, due, collected, or anything like that from one person to another. And land that is owned by the hidden elite. Well, supposedly, yeah, I mean, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Hope is manufactured between the commercials, i.e. the works of fiction, television, like that is not simply used to like follow in product placement and all that, and is taken to heart in the child. Credit line kicks in to sustain operations, and another slave is thrown on the pile. You go from childhood watching television and in ideologies that you're going to be a great person one day, and then all of a sudden you're another brick in the wall. You labour, tread water, fed grain, and then slaughtered. Economic system is a cage in pastels, orchestrated to keep you in debt. Entertainment serves as a neon distraction, just so you forget. Almost like, because of how very fast-paced Wage Slave is, just like Combat Mosh, you haven't really got time to contemplate it. Almost the thing, even if they said this, let's say half the speed, some of the words could literally go over your head just like that. You'll be saying, you know what, they're not wrong, but I don't think that goes far enough. You have to. It's not enough for anybody to say they're not wrong. Lich King have a fantastic point about this. It's the fact that understanding that this is happening to all of you at this moment. You can't say you're exempt from the rule if you've never watched television ever before in your lives. And even then, that's just one system that Lich King seems to believe that you're going to be under control. A life spent eagerly paying the price, but never acknowledging the cost. Don't bother asking when we start to fight back. The battle is over. We've already lost. You're a wage slave. I'm a wage slave. We're all wage slaves. We're all wage slaves. We are slaves to basically getting money, but we are a slave to the money gods, that we have literally no comprehension about anything being anybody different. The rich get richer and the poor beget children is a rather old-fashioned saying by the elite toffs, but it again, they're not wrong with some of these things. There are so many people out there who spend their entire lives just almost, I want to say, crying, thinking, hoping that anything could be better than this, that life has got to be more than just this. But then people will spend so much time fixing. I mean, I'll remember this, and I'll just put this point forward just before we end off here today, ladies and gentlemen, is that there's a part in Down and Out in Paris and London by George Orwell where when he's working in the Hotel X, and then he starts talking about the outlook of the waiting staff at the hotel, and that waiters, to show their superior, there's one part about where they show their superiority in front of the cooks by having moustaches. However, waiters constantly having to wait at table to present to lords, millionaires, dames, mistresses, and whatnot. You almost go under the pretense of being a part of the meal itself, and when a man is feeding 30 minutes after closing time, the poor waiter is not despising you. He's secretly thinking to himself, one day when I have enough money and I can stop working, I'm going to try and imitate that man. You see, between half seeing money and hoping to get it, a waiter will half come to some sort of consensus, or come to some sort of understanding with the people he's intend to serve, which is why waiters are seldom socialists, have no effective trade union, and will work. Some people suggest that they work over 14 or so hours a day, because, well, certainly back in the 1930s, waiters were paid no wages, but instead were given large share of tips, which sometimes could cover the expenses of working for nearly 10 whole weeks in a single day. But it's that kind of mentality that it's easy, and it's what forces people to go down that line and believing that this line of work is easy because you've seen other people do it, and usually in stories that are mostly fabricated, but it gives people hope, or some very vague disillusion of hope, which some people, it's got to be better than nothing, but other people would say that they could see right through the charade as though it were literally made of paper. And that paper is no better than the dollar bills that it was printed on. And with all that being said and done, it's, again, listening to Lich King is also fascinating, because it's when you begin to really slow things down and you begin to take a step back from the chaos and the anarchy that, to be honest, is none too different from the real world we know right now. But it's when you begin to think about it, and when you begin to make a few mental calculations as to exactly what Lich King are trying to say. And it's insane. And I think it's only more all the more fitting is that Lich King write their songs in that sort of same vein of insanity. And I love them for it. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this reaction video. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys thought of Wage Slave by Lich King. Please also make sure to also like and subscribe to get daily notifications when my videos come out. And I hope to love you guys again in the next reaction video. Take care. Bye bye for now.